धर्म संस्थापना के देवता भगवान श्री कृष्ण के चरणों में मेरा नमन। परात्पर गुरु डॉक्टर जयंत बालाजी आठवाले के चरणों में मेरा नमन। एंड आई वुड रियली लाइक टू थैंक वर्ल्ड हिंदू कांग्रेस एंड होता फोरम for giving me this opportunity to come here and interact with all of you on this very important and delicate issue of restoration of Hindu temples. Now let me begin with asking a question, and these are the questions which are asked to me by various segments of the society when we are fighting this legal cases of restoration of temple. And the question is that why restoration of temple is necessary? What will happen if Ram Janmabhoomi will be restored to its original form or to its glorious form? What will happen if Gyan Vyapi will be restored to its original form? What will happen if Krishna Janmabhoomi or many more temples like that which are in ruins will be restored to its original form? So the answer to all these questions lies in the core value of the spiritual importance of these places. For a very specific reason, and I would like to quote in a very gist form, that there are three very prominent books which deal with the spiritual importance of deity. And these books are books written by Mr. B.K. Mukherjee on Hindu law, books written by Mr. P.V. Kane in 7 volumes on Hindu law, as well as Mr. Gopal Chandra Shastri has written a detailed extensive work on Hindu law. And the summary of all these 3 books is that if at any particular place deity is either Swayambhu or it is installed, Pran Pratishtha is done, then that place itself becomes sacred to us. Please appreciate this point. People understand, and the general notion is that once the temple is destroyed, the existence of the deity is over. But I would like to say today from this forum that if Muslim law and Muslim concept is once a mosque, always a mosque, once a waqf, always a waqf, it is Sanatan concept also that once a temple, always a temple. But the irony is that we have not seen this Sanatan concepts, and the best part about judgment of Supreme Court delivered in Ram Mandir case was that the Supreme Court in 2021 SCC page 1, while dealing with the rights of the deity, has said that the rights of the deities once installed never diminish. If at any place deity is installed, that pious commitment is given a juristic entity. Just like we all know in a very casual term that if company is formed, the members and the directors of the company may come and go, but the company remains to be a legal entity. In that same manner, the commitment, the pious object to create a temple, to do Pran Pratishtha of a temple, so that is having a juristic entity. And therefore, with this perspective, with this background, Kashi Vishwanath case and Mathura Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi cases have been filed by us because that place where Lord Shiva, self-incarnated himself, is having lot of divinity and lot of spiritual importance to all the Sanatanis, and by no stretch of imagination we can lose even an inch of that land. That entire land is sacred to us. And that's why in Gyan Vyapi case, we had filed the case. I would request to please, I have prepared a short PowerPoint presentation for all of you, just to demonstrate that what are the developments in Gyan Vyapi case. So as we all know that, and I will, for the sake of saving time, I would not take you through each and everything, but I'll just narrate here for the sake of documentation that in Gyan Vyapi case, why I'm saying, because all of you would have read all these farmans of demolition, and there was no need for me to again present it. But I wanted to present it here with a different perspective. And the perspective is that Aurangzeb's farman is there in the history books to go and demolish the temple at Bishwanath at Banaras. And it was reported to him that the temple at Bishwanath has been demolished. His orders have been carried out. So now what is the legal implication of this farman is what I wanted to highlight before you. See, by virtue of Article 13, any farman, any order, any rule, any regulation, any notification, and this is the beauty of our Indian Constitution, that it is a transformative constitution. So what I wanted to present before you today was a very new philosophy, a very new theory, which was argued by my senior Mr. Harishankar Jain as well as Mr. Parasaran before the Supreme Court in Ram Mandir case, but it did not attain that much of light. But that argument is a very core Sanatani argument, and the argument is this, that if there is any order, rule, notification, farman, by which a temple has been demolished, the moment Indian Constitution comes into picture, the farman or that order is hit by Article 13, and it is violative of Article 25, which gives us right to every Sanatani, that is right to religion. So therefore this farman issued by Aurangzeb for demolition of our temple is violative of the Constitution of India, and it's a written farman. And let me tell you that under Section 57 of Indian Evidence Act, all these things can be taken judicial notice of by the courts of law. So therefore this farman is very important. Can you please take to the next slide? So now I wanted to show, and I must also tell you that we have with us here Mr. Vikram Sampath. He is writing a very important book on Gyan Vyapi, which will be with all of you very soon. And all these things will be documented, and his research has gone a little ahead of our work. So I would like to congratulate him. And this is the map of James Prinsep, which is mentioned in his book of Banaras Illustrated. And it has been mentioned in the book of James Prinsep, who was a British officer at that point of time, that it's a Ashtmandap Mandir, which was there at Gyan Vyapi. And if I would like to say one more thing here, that temple, if anyone will read the book of Rana P.B. Singh, who has written this book on Gyan Vyapi, that temple had lot of vibrations. The architecture of the temple was such in nature that if from anywhere, if you will sit and have meditation, you will hear Om sound. And that was the level of architecture which was there, which was demolished by cruel barbarian Aurangzeb. And at that place itself, at this place where this map is there, the most important part is Gyan Vyapi well. Why we say Gyan Vyapi? Vyapi means well, and Gyan means knowledge, the well of knowledge. So there at that place we get knowledge to get nirvana. And that's why Gyan Vyapi is very, very important to us, because out of 12 Jyotirlings, 5 Jyotirlings are Swayambhu, and out of 5 Jyotirling, the very first Jyotirling is of Gyan Vyapi, self-incarnated by Lord Shiva himself in Linga form. Therefore we are fighting for Gyan Vyapi. Issue of Gyan Vyapi is not a political issue or religious issue. It's a spiritual issue. It's a spiritual issue for entire Sanatanis, because this is the place which is very, very sacred to all of us. Now moving to the next slide. These are the pictures, these are the evidences which show that these are ruins of a Hindu temple and nothing has been done. Let me say here with a lot of sense of responsibility, I have been part of Advocate Commissioner, I have been part of the SI survey. This complex is nothing. The ruins of a Hindu temple have been converted into a mosque, and they are using it as a mosque, which is not the religious character of this place. So suppose, for example, I enter into a mosque and I install an idol there. Can that mosque be termed as a temple? There can be only one answer, that no, it cannot be termed as a temple. In the same way, if you enter into a temple and you offer namaz there, Can the characteristics of temple go? There can be only one answer, that no, once a temple, always a temple. So here in Gyanvapi, nothing more has been done. Our ruins of temple has been used as a mosque. Now next, these are the pictures, and just let me, just a minute, if you can pause for a moment, one picture. This is the well where we have found Shivlingam. On the right side, if you can see little bottom of this picture, there is the Vazu tank. There we have found Shivlingam during Advocate Commissioner survey on 16th May 2022, and that area was sealed by the orders of the court. I immediately went to the court and got that area sealed, and the sealing order has been affirmed by the Supreme Court by 20th of May 2022, and that sealing order still remains intact, and we have moved a petition before the Honorable Supreme Court to investigate this area also and see whether it's a fountain or not. We only want to suggest that this is not a fountain, and that inquiry order has been already directed by the Honorable Allahabad High Court, and the matter is pending adjudication before the Supreme Court. Now please, can I go to the next slide? So these are all the pictures. This is the Nandi, which is looking towards the Shivlingam, which I just told you. And the entire distance between this Nandi and the Shivlingam is 83 feet. Right in front of Nandi, the Shivlingam is there, which is the Vazu tank, which I just told you. Yeah, these are the western wall of the mosque, which show all the Hindu architecture. And I must also tell you, at this conference, on 28th of November, this month, the Archaeological Survey of India is going to file its report. And let me tell you that it is going to be a historic moment for all the Sanatanis. Yes. So this is the Vazu tank where we found this Shivlingam. This Shivlingam is around 3.5 feet. And they have drilled that Shivlingam. And I must tell you that it is not a fountain. When we got orders from the court to say that this fountain must be investigated, when this order was passed by the Allahabad High Court, they went in appeal before the Supreme Court and said that investigation must not be done. So, and this is the original map of Gyanvapi, where it is shown as Ashtmandap temple. And then just I will summarize Krishna Janmabhoomi, because I think I'm short of time. So I'll just summarize Krishna Janmabhoomi case in just in 2 minutes. In Krishna Janmabhoomi case, let me tell you that there was a compromise which happened between a fake organization and Shahi Idgah Masjid on 12th October 1968. After a lot of research, we have challenged that compromise, as well as we have said that this entire 13.37 acres of land is the land of Lord Krishna. It is sacred and divine to us. We have filed the civil suit before the Mathura Civil Court, and the development in Krishna Janmabhoomi case is this, that considering the national importance of Krishna Janmabhoomi case, I filed an application before the Honorable Allahabad High Court that just like Ram Mandir case, Krishna Janmabhoomi case also original trial must happen before the Allahabad High Court. Considering our request, on 26th of May 2023, Allahabad High Court has called this case to itself for original trial. The original trial is happening before the Allahabad High Court, and the moment cases were transferred to Allahabad High Court, the very first thing which we have done is we have asked for Advocate Commissioner survey of Shahi Idgah Mosque, because our specific case is that Shahi Idgah Mosque is full with Hindu signs and symbols. After hearing both the sides, the court has reserved its judgment, and the judgment is likely to be pronounced on 28th November or 29th November or in this week. So very soon, in Krishna Janmabhoomi case also, you will see an Advocate Commissioner survey, we will see a SI survey, and after all these things, very soon a speedy trial is going to happen. We will fight till our last breath for liberating Kashi and Mathura and all the temples.